And also, that way it's easier for all of us to get those answers as and when I present this as well. So basically, think of, I think there is a lot of trust. There is in Dr. Agria's presentation, we saw a lot of things about trust. We spoke about sustainability. We spoke about several different issues of good governance as a part of this entire storyline as well. So I'm going to take it from there and take you through some of the things that we have developed as well as a part of it. Trust score is very similar to your credit score. Credit score helps you, we are all used to the credit score model, right? So just like how credit score helps you in financial risk mitigation, we're looking at human risk mitigation. We are official partners with FIDC, Southern, Retail Association of India, NHRD Chennai, and BASME have also partnered with us, including ONDC as well. Why did we develop this? It's simple. You must have read articles about moonlighting, people getting fired for moonlighting. Money Control article talks about the frauds that employee commit. Accenture fired a huge number of people for fake experience letters. TCS has been in the news of late as well. Accepting offer letters and not joining. I'm sure every organization today, name one company which says that they don't have a problem of this nature. Every company is having this problem, right? So Make My Trip founder spoke about it. Business Insider article talks about it. Frauds. India has become the hub of frauds. Today, you have everybody's being scammed. Your WhatsApp scam, this scam, that scam. People walking into TCS office with fake offer letters, not even fake. They actually paid somebody else to get that offer letter. But in reality, when they came to TCS, they found out that this is not the offer letter issued by TCS, as an example. Most of these scams, in fact, Bandhan Bank actually put out an entire notification and a video of how these things are happening as a part of this entire storyline as well, if you like. The problem is even bigger. India is losing about $100 billion. That's how much we are losing. 9% of the revenues of insurance sector is lost. 54% of candidates accept offer letters and don't join. A company like Infosys loses about 5 crores every year just on this one small little problem statement. And you can extrapolate it to the rest of the country and you will understand how big that problem is. 30% of SMEs and MSMEs go bankrupt. 40% of the times the resume has some discrepancy. Cost of background verification and time it takes is a lot. The banking sector last year lost 1.38 lakh crores last year. SKS Microfinance is a classic case of a company that had huge issues. We always tell companies, even one wrong hire can cost the company lakhs and crores. The other side is if you lend to the wrong customer, the same thing can happen as well, if you think about it. So we don't come just from an HR standpoint, we come from a lending standpoint as well. We have now companies which are working with our data in multiple fronts practically, if you think about it. We like to look at risk from a 360-degree angle. Today, you have a lot of people who come and work within your ecosystem. Employees, customers, agents, interns, gig workers, DSAs, outsourced contract workers. If you take the microfinance industry, a lot of people work with a lot of these SHO, the self-help groups that are there as a part of this, as an example. You have NGOs who are coming and working and part of this as a part of the distribution model for that matter. There are so many other people who come and work within your ecosystem. I've taken the sample organizational chart of a BFSI sector. You must see that, everybody is looking at, oh, let me look at my employees. Let me do background verification on them. That's the only thing that they do. But in reality, there are so many other people who come and work with your ecosystem, who go unrisk mitigated at this particular point of time, who can cause huge amounts of losses as well. Take the case of, like I said, an agent of an insurance company can cause more fraud and cause more issues to a company than even an employee for that matter. But go ask, where are they reporting to? They'll report to the sales department. And are they getting risk mitigated? No. If you go to the NGOs, are they getting risk mitigated? No. A construction worker who's sitting over there today, for example, goes from one company to the other. Does he have work history? How is he risk mitigated? Go look at the Rapido driver who basically molested a woman over there. He can go to Swiggy, and how will even Swiggy come to know there's the same guy who did it for that matter? Right? Because ultimately, all these gig workers and everybody also move from platform to platform. People don't work in a single organization. People work in multiple organizations as a part of the entire storyline. But yet, if you look at the entire work history, they will all look at only employees in reality. Right? We need to risk mitigate the entire ecosystem. It is like keeping your front door nice and tight and shut, but your entire back door, windows, everything is open. That's what we are doing right now, if you think about it, right? And BGV is a very passive process. You need to risk mitigate 24/7, 365. Today, most of the frauds happen because of one reason and one reason only. If anybody can, it's anybody's guess as to what that is. It is because you are unable to verify the authenticity of that individual. If somebody's calling you and saying, I'm calling from Axis Bank, how do you know that guy is really from Axis Bank? If somebody's saying, I'm an LIC agent, how do I know he's from LIC agent, for example? People are unable to verify the authenticity of that individual. That's why all these scams happen. We provide a widget that can be pasted on a website, which can help you to risk mitigate this entire individuals as well as a part of this entire storyline. We start from offer giving or entry to exit. We want to cover the whole ecosystem from the entry to exit, and we want to integrate into your HRMS systems, your lending platforms, your CRM systems, wherever you store data. We want to make it like a UPI gateway, right? We shouldn't have to do anything manually. It should be like a UPI gateway. We're able to get information in seconds practically. So we want to integrate into your platforms to make all this happen. The platform works in a very simple way. We think that everybody is a fantastic person. They start with 1,000 points, which is the maximum you can get. Everybody is a trustworthy person until the company says anything otherwise. If somebody is absconding from employment, committing a fraud, anything else that you report reduces the score of the individual. Just like how Sybil has created a framework for your payment behavior, here we are trying to build a trustworthiness behavior pattern as a part of this entire storyline. You can also send and track offer letters through the platform. The main idea of our partnership with Sadhan is because we are trying to tackle an industry problem. We are not trying to solve a problem of a particular company, but an industry. Today, for example, let's say XYZ has already taken an offer and accepted an offer from a different company. Imagine you can actually check, hey, has XYZ accepted? You're trying to interview that person. Imagine being able to know he's already accepted an offer from a different company. And you still like him, you go ahead and issue the second offer letter, and he accepts the second offer letter. The first company is immediately notified saying that he's already accepted another offer. Please look at your risk mitigation strategies. Imagine being able to do that. Imagine the amount of cost savings, productivity losses, all that can be saved as a part of this entire storyline. We have automated several different risk services. I'll come to that part later. We want to remove the process inefficiencies in the system. Today, if you look at Accenture fired 5,000 people for fake experience letters. If you think about it, after 3 months to 4 months, you've paid salaries, then you've trained them and then letting them go. What a waste of time, right? If you're doing a background verification and doing a manual call, you're actually talking to an employer who's already left that company for that matter. What a waste of time. If you're a lending company, you will ask the HRs to get letters. Why is HR getting involved in a personal employee's issues? All these are process inefficiencies if you think about it. Relieving letters, experience certificate. If you believe the relieving letters and experience certificate, you won't do background verification in the first place. So why bother with this entire process? Let's do away with it. If you do not flag such behavior, what happened in SKS Microfinance can happen to you also. You do not want to come to the risk of having to worry about all these kinds of things. And like I said, even one instance of wrong person coming into your organization or lending to the wrong person can cost you lakhs and crores. An employee of your company is also a borrower or an insured somewhere else and vice versa. We are asking banks and NBFCs, lenders like you, would you lend to somebody who's committed an employment fraud? Are you even checking that data today? Is there a correlation between absconding employees and his repayment behavior, as an example? Right? Is there today as an employer, do you even check if this guy has committed a fraud when he's borrowing money or committed an insurance claim, as an example? People are not checking these kinds of things. We try to bring a 360-degree view of that individual and the risk of dealing with that individual as a part of this ecosystem as well, right? And if you're an SME or an MSME, the likelihood of you becoming bankrupt, or if you're working with an SME and MSME, that is also a big challenge. We think of ourselves like a LinkedIn with a green tick mark. In simple words, if you go to LinkedIn, what do you have? Your experience, your education, what did you win in sports? If the tournament organizer says that you won the tournament, you get a green tick mark. If the employer says you are the employee, you get a green tick mark. You see the 1,000 points there. If it is less than 1,000, clicking on the I will tell you why it is less than 1,000 so that you can risk mitigate effectively as well. Anything that you mark within your HRMS system, you don't have to come and log into the platform. You sit in your HRMS system. You don't have to do anything new. We will integrate into those platforms and make it real time for you at the end of the day. Major advantages, 90% reduction in wrongers, absconding employees will come down, current employee behavior will become better. You think of us like a video camera. If you have a video camera, people will stand behind the line. If you don't have video cameras, people are breaking rules, doing everything else. Just by implementing this, we are guaranteeing you a 5% increase in your revenues. People will start behaving properly because ultimately today, that is the challenge that we have as well. Offer acceptance, joint ratios will become better. Your business practices will become more efficient. Talk about ESG. Your business practices will become more efficient, thereby helping you to risk mitigate. When you're lending today, for example, there are so many different databases. Today, Accenture fired those people for fake experience letters, and keeping the data to themselves is a risk silo, if you think about it. When you're lending to somebody gave you a falsification identification. What you did, you basically said, no, I will not lend him money. I'm not going to give him the money. But in reality, keeping the data to yourself is a risk silo for that matter. We want to bring that equation and remove it and make a data democratically available at the end of the day, right? So there are so many different risk silos that are existing. MFIs have a risk silo. Somebody else is having a risk silo. If you go, insurance companies have their own risk silos. Technology companies will have their risk silos. AML guidelines. Why should only BFS sector follow AML guidelines? Wouldn't I, as a company who's doing business with somebody, shouldn't I be following AML guidelines as an example? So all these are risk silos we are trying to break away and try to make data democratically available as well. You can imagine the ability. You can do fast lending. You can check the leads. Imagine amount of leads that you basically drop because you dropped. Let's say you reported somebody saying that this guy, I'm not going to lend because he committed an issue. He will go and take that paper and give it to the next bank or NBFC. By you having that information ready-made, you can now stop wasting time. Imagine being able to get the risk notifications in real time. Today, you have a lot of vendors who come and work with your request. 20 rupees the guy makes an Uber, or an Uber driver, or an Ola driver, for example, or a Swiggy driver for that matter, makes 20 rupees for him. We are asking, how good is the drive? What is he doing? Imagine your recruiters, your surveyors, your valuers, your lawyers, your agents, your interns. Everybody can have a rating mechanism, which is a shared economy model, thereby allowing you to hire the best of them and also to risk mitigate them as a part of this entire storyline as well. I wish to point out this very important thing, because just imagine the amount of fraud that your employees, your customers are going through as well. So let's say, for example, I represent myself to be coming from a microfinance company, and I go there and take the money from them as a part of their EMI as an example and walk away. You may say, hey, you didn't pay me. It's not my problem that you trusted somebody else. But in reality, that customer is undergoing a huge problem at the end of the day. We can help you to risk mitigate that individual as well as a part of the industrial layer. We're getting into predictive analysis and actionable insights. The code of conduct of both MFI, Sadhan, as well as FIDC stipulate that you must check for such data for that matter. And we are one of the official partners of both FIDC as well as Sadhan, and in the current case, even Retail Association of India and many others as well. Question always comes on compliance and privacy. We are like a SaaS platform. Whatever platform you use, we integrate with it. We are just like that. The data belongs to you, not us. So in this particular case, that's the way we work. We have built something called the Trust SaaS PII Vault, the personally identifiable information vault, which is both GDPR as well as New Indian Privacy Law compliant, if you like. Right. And if you're a technology company, if you have problems like the way that you had with AIMS Hospital getting hacked, or if you had the problems with that NBFC Fullerton which got hacked, if you have such problems, for example, we can help you to solve such issues for that matter, because our vault structure is built to help you to risk mitigate such things as well. So we can reach out to us. Without the consent of that individual, you cannot check the trust code, thereby protecting the privacy of that specific person as well. An email goes out to them as well, protect the privacy. So customers, these are some of the top customers. We got 200 plus customers already on board the platform and growing, if you like. Mr. Satish Mehta, who's the founding CEO and MD of Sybil, is in my board. Srinivas Acharya from Sundaram Finance, MD of Thomson Reuters, Two Sigma MD, CIO of KPMG, has recently joined my advisory board as well. And Mr. Sridhar. The beauty of all these things, it is absolutely free for the next till December 2024. That's approximately 2 years of free that we are offering to you right now as we talk about it. And for the next 2 years after that, 50% off. We have now developed something called automated risk services. Basically, you can do all these checks in seconds, no more of getting anything else from there. We are developing best practices for you to do all these things. We can, like I said, we guarantee you an increase in 5%. You can do address, PAN card, Aadhaar card checks and everything else within seconds. You don't need to employ a BGV company, nothing. Your utility bills, your gas connections, your phone connections, your EPA4 record checks, credit checks, court record checks. Just to make sure that you derive the full benefits of trust code till December 24, we are offering even prior employment checks free of cost. Absolutely free. This is all that is there as a part of the platform as well. Now, that's not the only thing that we do. We also have developed something called Open Jobs API. Tell me one company here which does not have attrition, huge amounts of attrition at the end of the day. What we are trying to do is you sit in your HR, there are 1,500 job portals. Government of India has got 400 government job portals. Every sector skill council has his own job portal. Your state sector skill councils. Yesterday, for example, I was with Tamil Nadu government's sector skill minister. I was telling him, which HR has got the time to go and post a job in these 1,500 job portals? What we are saying is, you sit in your HRMS, you post a job, we'll pick it up. Any job portal can pick it up and come back and give you the data back to your HRMS without you moving an inch out of it. We are trying to partner with education institutions, skilling institutions, and everybody else, so that we bring those resources to your doorstep. I'm working with both industry as well as education and training. One side, people say, hey, you know what? I don't have people. The other person says, I want job. Both of you are not talking to each other. We are trying to help you to make that talk and make it happen. And it is an industry initiative. It is going to be successful only when all of you adopt it and adopt it together. No point waiting for you endless time and everything else. First,